Welcome to the Electric Playground. Today on the show, we build a new rundown out of Lego.
Plus, we delve into the inner psyche of a slice of bread with a look at I Am Bread.
And then we talk to the director of Dark Souls 2, scholar of the First Sin.
The brighter the flame, the deeper the shadow.
Also coming up, Robert Downey Jr. heads to court and the judge. We party with Mario and his friends and much more today on EP Daily. Brought to you by EB Games. I'm your host, Victor Lucas, bringing you the latest in everything cool every single day. Everything is awesome when you're part of a team, but also when you're watching the rundown. Here we go. Lego fans won't be able to join one of the most epic battles in Middle-earth history. Warner Brothers has canceled the planned Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies DLC for Lego The Hobbit. It would have given players the opportunity to relive events from the third and final Hobbit movie, which was released after the game, but now they'll just have to make do with a blocky recreation of the first two films. This leaves the story unfinished and is sure to come as a disappointment to many fans. If you're looking for some Lego love, the first gameplay footage from the next big game, Lego Jurassic World, has arrived. Although the title comes from the upcoming fourth Dino movie, the game will actually include events from all four Jurassic Park movies. It arrives this June, just in time for the release of Jurassic World in theaters. RPG fans have a reason to be disappointed. King of Pirates, the latest game from Mega Man creator Keiji Inafune, has been canceled. The game was first announced back in 2011 and would have been an action RPG for the 3DS, but the developers say that sudden changes in the marketplace have made them drop the project. Inafune's other big game, the action platformer Mighty No. 9, is still on track to begin rolling out this spring. Here to help me discuss some of these rather disappointing rundown topics is my pal, Scott C. Jones.
Whenever there's a disappointing rundown topic, Vic brings me in.
I put up the negativity signal
up
in the sky, and then you come out.
That's enough for your jokes.
All right. Okay, yes, the Battle of the Five Armies dropped as DLC for Lego Hobbit. I know that you've been crying all morning when you heard that news.
Well, you know, my Hobbit tank's been filled for quite a while now, and I think, you know, maybe for the guys who work on the Lego games, maybe they're creatively a little bit up against the wall here, because I look at your review of the last Lego Batman game, and it wasn't the most positive review, and you were very excited.
Well, I was excited about all the talent that was put into the game, but yeah, it did feel like they were kind of running on fumes a little bit. Yeah. And I think with The Hobbit in particular, I don't think that it was that big of a success, that third film, in terms of you know, critical reception. Maybe it made all of its money back and everybody's happy that way, but it did feel like it was fatiguing to watch that film.
In the rearview mirror, you look at the Lord of the Rings movies, and you look at the Lord of the Rings video games, including the Lego versions of the video games, and they felt too short, and now the Hobbit movies have just felt too long. It's gone on forever.
It is exciting, though, that they're making a Lego Jurassic Park. You got to admit that. Lego dinosaurs going to be fun.
I saw a little bit of that when I was in San Francisco recently, and you'll hear all about it soon.
All right. Well, the other big news is that Keiji Inafune, he's got Mighty No. 9 coming out.
Yes.
Phew, that's still coming. But his RPG, his action RPG called King of Pirates, that's been canceled, and he's citing market changes.
Well, you know, I think he's an artist who's been a little bit frustrated for a long time now, and I think he had high hopes and aspirations that he was going to make something new and groundbreaking and connect with a whole new group of people that he hadn't really connected with before. I'm glad Mighty No. 9 is still apparently on track, but looking at this, I don't even know what it was, Ninja Pirate role-playing game for the 3DS. I don't think it's a huge, it sounds like a big deal. I don't think it's actually too much of a big deal, though.
And I think he's learning a ton. I mean, let's be honest, with Mighty No. 9 and getting out in the crowdsourcing kind of world out there and looking at multi-platform releasing and self-publishing, and that's probably all shaped the decision. I know that this is kind of a rebirth for Keiji Inafune's video game career with this new game coming out, and I think we're going to see some really exciting things. I wouldn't be that surprised to see some kind of derivation of King of Pirates reappear as something else down the road.
And we're always rooting for these guys. If you want to enjoy a Keiji Inafune game, go back and play the original Dead Rising, which was amazing.
All right, well, speaking of indie game development, let's take a look now at an indie hit. It's called I Am Bread.
I'm here with Enrique Oliviers. He is the gamer-in-chief. Yes, that's what he likes to be called at Bossa Studios. They're working on a game called I Am Bread. Tell me, this is the best title you could come up with for this game?
Of course, it's the perfect title for the game, right? You are a piece of bread who wants to become toast. What better title can be for such a journey for bread, right? There has to be like that.
So tell me, how do you play this game? You start out as just a regular piece of bread, and then what happens?
It's a very simple objective. You have to become toast, right? But you play with the four corners of the bread, with the 4 bumper sticks on the gamepad, or mouse and keyboard if you don't have a gamepad, and you flip the bread around with the corners. And that allows you to do somersault jumps or whatever you can do to master with those 4 corners. It's incredible because it starts out very difficult to handle, but we see videos on YouTube on people traversing levels in seconds because they get a way to flip the bread around so fast and sideways.
I can't believe this is a real game. It's called I Am Bread. I can't believe it. I'm so happy you guys made this game. Do you guys do a lot of research when you're working on the game? Do you make a lot of bread in the studio?
We did make a lot of bread and a lot of toast. Actually, the textures of the bread is like real toast that we scanned in, believe it or not. And it's great to program with that smell of fresh bread in the air, right? It helps a lot to get into the vibe of the storyline of the game.
Obviously, we don't eat a lot of bread here in the year 2015. Do you guys think about doing a gluten-free version of the game?
No, not gluten-free, but we have done with bagel, we have done with crackers, that is a cheese hunt mode, and we have done with baguette as well, which is a rampage inside the game, that the baguette has to destroy everything. But the star of the show still is the plain bread has to become toast, and in doing so, turns the owner of the house crazy, right? Because every day he comes back to home and the home is completely trashed and there's just one piece of toast lying around there, and he was just getting crazy, saying, what the hell is going on in this place? Who is pulling these pranks on me?
Let's backtrack a little bit. You said that there's a cheese hunt mode in the game?
There is a cheese hunt mode. If you don't like bread, you can play with a cracker and cracker bread and do that.
I can't believe this is a real game. Is there a multiplayer element to this experience?
Is our next step. Yes, we will work on that.
So it's too early to announce anything about multiplayer?
Yes, it's too early to announce. But just like with Surgeon Simulator, we did it on the PlayStation 4. We have 2 hands, each player controlling one hand. We like to play with these things.
So this is a game based on the premise of taking a plain piece of bread, making it into toast. What other mundane projects could Bossa be making in video games in the future? Could there be some sort of game where you mow a lawn or run a vacuum? I'm just trying to figure out where the line is here for you guys.
No, look, all our games have this kind of crazy themes, but the underlying gameplay has to be there, right? We don't make games if the gameplay is not real. We start with how can we make a piece of bread move and feel good, and you can actually get good at playing it. And then we add the storyline and everything on top, just like in Surgeon Simulator was something like that. And we are working on a new game called Worlds Adrift, which is actually a massive multiplayer game. But it's all physics-based. It's unlike any other game that has been before.
TP Daily. It is now time for Dark Souls 2 to make its next-gen console debut. The port is called Scholar of the First Sin, and Jose has all the details.
Fire came to be, and with it, disparity. And the brighter the flame, the deeper the shadow.
There is more Dark Souls 2 coming in the form of Scholar of the First Sin. What exactly is Dark Souls 2, a Scholar of the First Sin?
Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin is Dark Souls 2 the base game, along with all 3 of the DLC, Crown of the Sunken King, Crown of the Old Iron King, and Crown of the Ivory King, along with lots of new content.
Now, I know tons of people have played the game on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, but you guys are bringing this to the next generation of consoles with the PS4 and Xbox One as well. What does that mean to the game experience?
We're hoping that players will enjoy all new experiences online with more players online than before. Players will also see totally new enemy placement based on the upgraded specs of the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and higher-end PCs.
For fans who have played the game already on the last generation of consoles, is this going to feel like a different game to them?
For fans who've played Dark Souls 2 many times, we feel that they'll be able to play the new game with all these new additions on the PS4, Xbox One, and higher-end PCs, and they'll notice that it's a new experience for them.
Now, there are a lot of game developers out there. When they release a game, you know, that's pretty much the final. That's it. That's what we get from the game. But getting to go back and tweak it and make it look better for next generation of consoles, is that something that's fun for you, or did it kind of scare you a little bit?
When we made Dark Souls 2, there were many elements that we wanted to get to that we just couldn't, that we now are able to get to, and that's wonderful for us. It took away the limits on the specs for the hardware itself, but at the same time, of course, it's always hard to develop new games in this way, so that was also a challenge.
So we all know for the next generation, it's going to look prettier. Is it going to still be just as hard? Am I going to die a lot?
The base difficulty of the game isn't going to change, but it is going to be a totally different experience, so everyone can die in a totally new way.
That just means I'm going to die a whole lot more, but my deaths are going to look prettier. So I guess I win in the end.
Thanks, Jose.
Let's move on now and talk about the actor Robert Downey Jr. He had some trouble earlier in his career, and, well, guess what? He's back in court again.
Okay, yeah, he's back in court again, but not because he did something wrong, because he plays a lawyer in the movie The Judge, which recently came out on Blu-ray. Robert Duvall and Robert Downey Jr. have teamed up. This really seems like a dynamic duo, though, in The Judge. I don't know about this face that Jones is giving me, though. I feel like he did not enjoy The Judge.
I always make this face when we shoot our reviews. Now, listen, you're right about the dynamic duo, because this is a AAA Hollywood pairing. We've got Robert Downey Jr., great actor, of course, better known as Birdman. Did I say that? I meant Iron Man. And on the other side of the coin, you've got Robert Duvall, the consigliere from the Godfather series, and he plays the judge who is the judge of a courthouse in a little hillbilly town that Robert Downey Jr.'s lawyer character is from.
God, here we go.
Basically what needs to happen is Robert Downey Jr.'s character needs to defend his father in the court of law because he got into a little accident.
So he's the big city slicking lawyer, and he comes back to the hillbilly town, and his father, who has a this is so complicated. Why am I explaining this?
No.
His father, who has a conflicted relationship with, they have to work together. And what happens? Well, that's up to you to find out when you watch this movie.
Are you asking if you can represent me?
You can afford me.
But that's the thing about this movie, that there are a lot of different things happening. It's not only just Robert Downey Jr. defending Robert Duvall in the court of law. He's also dealing with going back home again. He's dealing with family. He's also dealing with his father that's actually quite ill. And there's these really amazing moments that he has with his father in those son and father moments where the son is caring for the father and you don't really expect it to happen. I really enjoyed that part of the movie, but there are moments here where it just goes off the beaten path a little bit, like we're seeing 3 different movies in one almost, because he also has this relationship as well with his old girlfriend that he went to high school with too, so we're dealing with that as well stitched into the movie.
And his older brother, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, he's in the movie as well. And there are all kinds of, you're right, there are some distracting subplots in the film, but mostly what's distracting for me, and I was excited to see this. I like Robert Downey Jr. a lot, but I just feel like this film is just rife, wall to wall in sincerity. Nothing about this feels honest or real. None of the emotions in the film feel honest or real. And I just see 2 awesomely talented actors not really giving us anything that feels like truth.
Let me tell you something, okay? Here. I put a roof over your head, money in your pocket, clothes on your back, food in your mouth.
It all feels like everyone's just trying to show off and no one quite pulls it off.
Okay, I agree with that point. There is a lot of that happening. It's true, but there's
Show-offs, all
also
of
some
them.
fantastic acting here. Some people that really love what they're doing, and they really fell in love with this movie while they were making it. And I felt that when watching the special features. Okay, they pulled me in.
Oh, I didn't even watch
They won
it.
me over. You have to watch the special features.
No, I'm done.
Well,
That's it.
okay, what are you scoring it?
I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 10.
I give it a 6.5 for me.
A little behind-the-scenes trivia for you. That movie was produced by Robert Downey Jr.'s own production company that he and his wife founded with all the money that he made from all the Iron Man films.
Interesting, interesting. Don't go anywhere because after the break, Mario is throwing a party.
Oh, man, Mario's parties are off the hook, yo.
Okay, that was bad.
EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by Gameloft, makers of Dragon Mania Legends, which you can play for free right now.
If you ever find yourself with an unexpected weight, I have a game for you. It's called Pancake The Game. Of course, I was attracted to this thing because I love pancakes. Really, all you're doing in this one is flipping a pancake. You have to do it as many times as possible. And sure, it sounds easy enough, but have you ever actually tried to flip a pancake? It's not easy, especially in this game. All you really have to do is tap the screen or swipe up to flip. But even though this guy's got some kind of muscle on him, you gotta really be careful with the amount of flips, but you do get achievements for the amount of flips the pancake does in the air before it lands. My maximum right now for lands is 7. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, and I'm sure I can get more if I keep practicing, but I dare you to come at me, Ro, with this game. It's called Pancake the Game. I think it'll do just fine for a little while in a waiting room. I wouldn't play it much longer than that. I'm giving Pancake the Game a 5.5 out of 10.
Some excellent flipping there, Roberto. Now listen, science fact, Mario's parties are legendary. No, really, they are. Mario Party 10 is obviously the 10th game in the insufferably cute series. Here's Marissa and Vic, who are legally of age, with a review.
Gather your friends if you have them, because Mario Party 10 has arrived.
Time to play.
And I say that because I tried playing this game alone. Like, I tried playing many Mario Party games alone. And you can have some fun, but you mostly just end up feeling really alone in the world when you're finished playing.
Yeah, you do need other people, but I feel like this is the most single-player friendly Mario Party experience I've played so far.
Because of the amiibo.
The amiibo part is pretty cool, yes. They have like amiibo tables that are all tied to the different new Super Mario series amiibos.
Yeah.
You can use, which I found quite interesting, you can use the Smash series amiibos in there, but it will erase the data if you want to attach it to the Mario Party experience.
No.
Yeah, so you'd lose all of the progression and all that stuff that you
so
have in Smash.
don't do that.
So they are trying to encourage, I think, through this to embellish your amiibo collection, which is a smart, shrewd move on Nintendo's part.
Okay, so here's the thing with Mario Party, that you always need to juggle controls and controllers, okay?
Yes.
So this is the same thing with this game. You're taking the Wii U gamepad, and you're taking the Wii mode.
And so it feels a little bit like, what am I supposed to look at right now?
And when you're using the amiibo, you need to constantly be picking up the amiibo, putting it on the gamepad, because that's how you roll, that's how you collect tokens. So it was constant, just, oh God, I had to, okay, Peach, where are you? Like, just always grabbing her, saving it, and then loading something else. It was such a struggle for me to keep going back to it, and then trying to find the fun, though.
I like that, though. Yeah, I did, because it's not beautifully sort of handled or anything like that, but I like the idea of trying to incorporate the amiibos a little bit more into the gameplay, because Smash, I feel like you just stick them in, you get their data, and then you just watch them go.
But I would prefer that. I would prefer that, because yes, I like that I have this little toy, but I don't want to keep playing with this toy. This is not a toy that I feel like I play with. It's a toy that I feel like I keep on my shelf.
I'm a tactile toy dude, so I like picking up my little Yoshi figure and putting on. But I think the reason why I really appreciated this Mario Party game, and I had a good time with it, it's, you know, it's a series that you kind of know what you're getting into when you pick up one of these things.
Totally,
There's tons of mini games, lots of different kinds of tables and setups for you to play through, and you've got different sort of dice mechanics that happen, all kinds of weird special effects happen on the boards.
All the stuff you've seen before, I mean, with different color die, and now you can play against Bowser as well. There's like a 4 on Bowser.
That's why I like this game.
Okay.
It's the Bowser mini games and the Bowser sort of meta game where Bowser is chasing you, and they have the asynchronous play style, similar to Evolve, but now it's Bowser.
You really do feel like a beast, because Bowser is charging and then he jumps on top of you.
I love it. There's a ton of content in this thing.
There is. I mean, the maps themselves of the game boards all kind of feel the same with a different skin a lot of the time. So, I mean, I have to take that away from it. Will I play this game again? Yes, if I have friends over. I don't really want to play this game alone, because it does make you feel alone. And I did invite a friend over to play this game.
Yeah.
I made Scott play.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious. And he hated it the whole time, which made me love it even more.
So he was sour Donkey Kong when he was playing this.
Yeah, he was sour Donkey Kong, as usual.
The thing that I also appreciate about this is, because it's on the Wii U, is that it's all in HD now, so it looks more board game-like than it ever has before, and all of the characters and the animations are, there's been a real sort of craft, I think, putting this together. And some of the other games I just haven't been a fan of. They just felt, especially because we're up to 10 of them now, they felt like they were rushing them out, and they were kind of slapped together, and there was a sameness quality. But now in HD with the amiibo and the extra content and the cool cutscenes and the tons of fun mini games.
I mean, okay, it's still the sameness, I feel, but with the addition of the amiibo.
I had
and
a good
now
time.
you can play with 5 people.
Yeah. I like
So-
playing badminton. I like playing the paintball war type game.
Okay, so what are you
I like
scoring?
using the gamepad to kind of burn everybody with.
So you enjoyed yourself,
I really
did ya?
did. That's an 8.5 for me.
I get the 7.5 for me. A little behind-the-scenes info for you from Mario's last big party. Yoshi went home with a bunch of Shy Guys. Twitter question of the day is coming up next.
If you want more EP, go to our website, epn.tv, for bonus content and full episodes. We're also on Facebook and Twitter.
It is time now for my favorite part of every episode of EP Daily. It is the Twitter question of the day, and today's question comes from someone, a man or a lady, named Duff. He or she is at SmokinD40.
Okay, 39 must have been taken.
How much longer do you think Sony and Microsoft will sell last-gen consoles? You can still buy those at retail anywhere, or should they have stopped already? Victor Lucas?
No, they shouldn't have stopped because it's a good business decision. They were very vocal about the fact that there was going to be limited backwards compatibility with the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. And if you want to play the fantastic libraries that exist on their the 2 last-gen machines, you have to have them. I still have mine hooked up. I still play those consoles from time to time. I love that I have those.
You know, I keep thinking of something Ben Silverman said at our year-end wrap-up last year, which is it takes developers a little bit of time before they find the groove on the new machines. They're starting to find the groove now on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
This is going to be a big year.
But if you want to see 2 machines that they really have access to all the powers on, we're talking about the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. If you don't own them, you are nuts. And you're watching our show, you got to own them.
That was a good question, though. And if you've got a question you want to send us or you want to watch full episodes and a whole lot more, go to our website, epn.tv.
We've got a good story in tomorrow's show that takes a closer look at the latest film in the Divergent series. Thanks for watching.
See you tomorrow.
EP would like to thank its sponsors, Nintendo, Xbox.
I think the first one obviously had action, but this one I think just taken to the next level of action. And we have some great new characters as well. I think people will walk away very satisfied in that respect. I think, you know, the story is still strong, the writing is very good, but I think the action will keep you on the edge of your seat more.